Today we're out here in Buckeye, Arizona, checking out these two different floor plans right behind me. This community is called Teravalis. I have never featured it on my channel before, but it is going to be an absolutely amazing master plan community with pickleball, multiple pools, huge fitness center, and so much more. All of these homes are actually going to be under $400,000 as well. But let's go ahead and get started in this tour. Starting out here with our first home, this is going to be DRB Homes, which is a mix of a couple different builders. I believe they purchased Guillen Homes and they were also Brightland Homes. This one is starting at $361,990. So, right when you walk in, you have a nice open hallway. On the left-hand side, we're gonna have our first bathroom, looks like. This is gonna have a single sink, walk-in shower. I'm sure that's an option to upgrade. You guys can build here. So that $361,990 starting price is if you decide to do a build. They do have spec homes available as well for under $400,000. So that's pretty good. Decent sized bedroom here. Coming across, another bedroom. Also a pretty good sized bedroom. You're gonna have your standard closet on this side. Coming back in the hall, on the right-hand side, we're gonna have our 2-car garage, laundry room. Looks like they did some upgrades in here. Also, this is upgraded. Little catch-all space right off the garage. Then you also have a closet. You guys know how I feel about closets, but you can use it for storage like they were. Here is our living space, really pretty kitchen. And then dining room. I actually really like this layout. You guys will have to tell me what you think. Cute little kitchen, plenty of cabinetry, nice size island, walk-in pantry. Still has the pull-out trash. I like how this is too. Kind of cool. Because you still have like that built-in feel. Here's the other side. Kitchen looks out into the living room, but not necessarily the TV. You could move this around a little bit from what they have it here. So they had their TV along the side of the kitchen. So whoever's chilling here, I mean, you can kind of have a communication, which is nice, but you won't be able to see the TV. So you'll have to decide what you would rather have. I think some people would like the couch here and TV on this wall. But again, that'll be up to you to decide. Plenty of space for the dining room. So you have an 8-seater here, little bit tight. But again, depending on what lifestyle I would say your family is, you may not even care to have a dining table. Up to you guys. Still has this huge big slider, which I love. In the very back of the home, we have our primary bedroom. Great size primary. Plenty of space in here. And then you have the tub shower setup. They've done the upgraded tile. Again, you can build. So if you guys want, I can also head over at the very end of this video to one of their specs of this floor plan. I believe it's $382 for the price. And that'll give you guys a really good idea of upgrades and how much everything costs, things along those lines. Of course, when we do meet in person, we go over a lot of this stuff. We also will tour these spec homes, and really there's a lot of different ways we can kind of give you guys an idea of how much it's going to cost for a new build. If you decide to do like a dirt option versus a spec home, how, you know, when you see $362 or whatever the price was, $361, that is before picking out the lot. That is before all the upgrades. That is before a lot of the things. So we can kind of use those specs to compare as well when we go out and see homes in person. But back to the bathroom here. Really love the vanity as well. And the shower is actually a really good size. For the bathroom being like a little bit smaller, this is bigger than my shower. So I really like that. And then you have the toilet space. This one has the 8-foot doors, which is really nice. Let's check out the lot as well. I saw a really pretty plant. You guys know, if you know, I am really into planting and gardening. I tell you guys that all the time. I swear I'm gonna start giving like plants as closing gifts if you guys like that. If you think you have a green thumb at least. Here's this. So plenty of space for a single story. This is really, really big for a backyard. I love it. Plenty of space for a pool as well. I don't believe they have any 2 stories. I'll look on that in just a second. This community also has the internet included in the HOA, which is kind of a cool concept. The HOA is a little bit more expensive, so it's 180 something right now. Let me tell you guys the exact pricing. I'm sure you're curious. So 180 something now. Once all the community is finished being built, because this is just in the very, very beginning, minimal homes have been sold here so far. So if you want to get in early, this is definitely the time. So 184 right now, that includes your internet. Then you're gonna, in March 2027, it's gonna go up to 230. That's whenever everything's gonna be finished being built. You have the dog park, pool, gym, pickleball, all that fun stuff. So lots of really cool things going on in this community. Yeah, I'm super excited to see how it all turns out. I actually have a client under contract here, not at this builder, but at Century Homes. Shout out, shout out Jim. He is really excited to move out here, and I think he has the right idea. This community is going to be super cool once it's all done, and I think a lot of people are going to not know about it now because it is a little bit further out. I'll pop up on the maps to show you guys exactly where we are today. It is a little bit further out. You're probably a good solid 25, 30 minutes from most things like shopping and whatnot, maybe a little less, maybe like 20 minutes to Surprise. So a little bit further out, right? But eventually this will be the place to be. Same thing for when people moved to Verrado. Verrado was like in the middle of nowhere. No one wanted to live out there because it felt like it was seriously in the middle of nowhere. And now look at it. $1 million properties, multi-million-dollar properties out there. Everyone wants to move out there. And I have a feeling this is going to be a very similar community, but only time will tell. Before we head into this next house right behind me, I did want to mention that this home is in a CFD, so a community facility district. And essentially that allows the builders to keep these prices low while still allowing the community to be built. A lot of different communities have them, like super big master plan communities. So like Verrado, Estrella Mountain Ranch, parts of Buckeye have them other than this community, and basically allows the community to keep the pricing low, but also have enough money to continue to develop into the community, right? So like, let's say if this neighborhood didn't have a CFD, these homes would probably be closer to 450 versus the 400 price point. So keep that in mind as we're kind of walking through these. That is going to add on to your property taxes. It's going to range between $2,000 to probably like $2,700 a year. And again, that's added on to your property taxes, and it just goes towards building up this community. And I'm not sure I mentioned, but that very first home that we just toured is 1,680 square feet, 3-bed, 2 full baths. And then this one right here is going to be the Clover. Starts at $376,990. It's 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,921 square feet. I really like the exterior of this, super pretty, cool, and modern. That's how a lot of the homes are in here. At the other builders, there's like 6 different builders in here, so you have lots of options if you're interested in the Teravalis one, but maybe you don't see a floor plan that you like today. So right when you walk in, I can already tell what floor plan this is because I actually sold this exact floor plan in Vistancia, and my clients loved it, and I thought it was really cool too. So right when you walk in, you kind of have this open hall space. On the right-hand side, similar concept. You have your front bedroom, a little bit smaller, but still, you know, you have your nightstands and a little dresser here. Then you have a, let's see, linen closet. Yes, okay, they know how to do it right now. Then you have your full bath. This is gonna have a single sink again. This one, let's see what they did. Yeah, they kept it more standard. So you have your tub shower combo here. Quartz countertops, really pretty cabinets. And then coming down a little bit further, we have our next bedroom, standard, little small, again, not super, super big. On the left-hand side, we're gonna have another closet. This one's gonna be a coat closet. Then we have a catch-all space again, that is an upgrade. And then here is the laundry room. Tons of upgrades in here. All these cabinets are nice upgrades. Really cool flat option too. versus a lot of the homes you see have kind of like that edging around. This is a nice option if you decide to build or if one of their specs happens to have it. They're also offering washer, dryer, fridge, and blinds right now. And you guys, the interest rates are absolutely insane. So before we finish up the rest of this home, I'll let you guys know they do have $10K in closing costs, washer, dryer, fridge, blinds, like I mentioned. And then right now they have a 3.95% FHA and VA interest rate, and that's with a 3.5% down. They have a conventional one at 3.75, and then they have a 4.49 for conventional fixed, which is 20% down. They also have a really cool program, which is a down payment assistance program, which not many builders have, and I rarely mention on my channel, but they do have a 5.5% interest rate for down payment assistance, which is really cool and allows you guys to not have to put anything down if you don't want to, but still get a better interest rate than is available right now, especially for DPA. And then the other really, really cool thing that pretty much zero builders are doing right now, which is offering a good interest rate for a new build. So they're gonna go ahead and do, let's see, a rate lock at 5% for 20% down, or you could do a 4.75% with an ARM, 5% down, or you can do a 4.49% FHA and VA, and that's with a new build versus before, usually you can't lock in your rate, and that's why a lot of people steer clear of the new builds. And when I say new build, I mean like you pick the lot and you build it, so it takes about 6 months. They're literally gonna pay for a 180-day rate lock for you. So that's what allows you to do that versus most builders are not doing that. They're only gonna do it on their spec homes. So this is definitely a really good opportunity if you want to build your own home. This builder is DRB, and I bet you that they're probably doing that in a lot of their different communities. So let's say Teravalis is not the one for you. You wanna be a little bit closer in, or maybe your budget is a little bit different and you wanna go and get a bigger home or whatever it is, just ask and we can definitely see if they have anything available in a closer area or an area that you're more interested in. Like I mentioned, the Estancia, they have them over there. They have them in Litchfield Park. I think they have a community in Goodyear. They have another community in Goodyear. So they're definitely in a couple different places if you're interested. Also with the new build, you're gonna have $12,500 towards design, and then they're also gonna give you $8K towards closing costs. So pretty solid deal. Again, just so we can get our bearings here. Front door, bedroom, there's a bathroom, here's another bedroom, laundry room down that way, and garage entry. Now we have on the right-hand side, they have it as kind of like a hangout space. You could do this as your dining room. You could do this as your office. This could be the playroom, so on and so forth. And then you have your super pretty kitchen, plenty of cabinetry in here, which is nice. They didn't do the gourmet kitchen here, but you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Also, as you see, gas, the previous home had gas. So this is gonna be a gas community. My other client who's at a different builder is also getting gas, which is cool. Here's a little look at the island. I love they did the composite quartz sink, which is really nice and super durable, and I really like the look of it. And yeah, super nice. Love the open space. You have kind of two different spaces here, right? So it's kind of like this little L shape, but I really like this for like a playroom or how they have it as an office / hangout space. I think that's nice. And then they have an 8-seater table here is again, just like the other home. So that's nice. Let's go and check out the primary bedroom. So plenty of space, nice big primary. So you have the chunky nightstand, still have this little bench at the bottom, a chair for reading, and then still space for the dresser. Coming down, ooh, who doesn't love the nice big super shower here? Super fancy, I love the look of this. And then you have your double sinks on the right-hand side. You have your toilet space, and towards the very back, we're gonna have our closet. And they did, you know, the extra shelving that I always mention on here. It's really nice and just utilizes the space really well. Wraps kind of around this corner. Let's check out the backyard so you guys can see what that looks like. They did a good amount of upgrades, but nothing too crazy in here, right? So like they did the nice upgraded baseboards to, I think that's probably like a 5-inch baseboard. They did the 8-foot doors in here. What else did they do? Let's see. They did the upgraded kitchen-ish, right? Like they probably upgraded the cabinets themselves. The backsplash is an upgrade. The lighting below is a nice upgrade, but they kept the kitchen itself is not a gourmet kitchen, right? So that's kind of where the money went a little bit different here. But I mean, they didn't do anything too crazy. I guess the floor is a nice upgrade, but you guys could do like a wood-like tile instead, and that probably would be a little bit more affordable. They did the flooring through into the primary bedroom, which is nice. Let's take a look at this backyard, just so you guys can see this home's a little bit bigger, so your backyard's gonna be slightly smaller, but not too crazy. So right when you walk out, you have your covered patio, which is a nice size, not super big. If you like to have a covered patio, you probably would want to extend this out a little bit. They have like a fire pit hangout space. And then on the right-hand side, they just have, you know, some desert landscaping. Of course, you could do a pool here, you could do grass here, whatever makes more sense for you and your family. But really nice, I like the way it looks. So there's 5 different floor plans total here. We just saw 2 of them today, just now. So we also have another floor plan that is just around 1,500, just shy of 1,500 square feet, starting at $348,990, 3-bed, 2-bath. Then we have a lavender, which is a 4-bedroom. That's 2,274 square feet. That one starts at $396,990. Then we also have another 4-bedroom. That one is 2,112 square feet, and it is 4-bed, 3-bath, starting at $382,990. Not sure if I said the price already, but you have a couple different floor plan options. Yeah, and all of those, oh no, 1 2-story. So the lavender, the one that's 2,274 square feet, that one is the only 2-story that they have. They have a couple different spec homes available. So they have one that is 1,921 square feet at $418,000. They have one that's 1,680 square feet, which I believe is the first model. They have that price at $382,990. And then they have another one that's 1,921 square feet for $408,990. So the 2 homes that we saw, they have different specs available at different pricing for you guys. So you can kind of see how much they spent. Let's say the one that we're in right now, it starts at $376,990, and they have a spec home. They have 2 spec homes available, one at $418,000 and one at $409,000. So it kind of gives you guys an idea on how much they spent in upgrades. And we'll actually head over to one of those right now, just so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. We will go ahead and see the one. Let's do the one for $418,990. Just see kind of the difference between what we've walked in right now, all the upgrades that you see get in here, like the different cabinets, the not gourmet kitchen, but some upgrades and the upgraded flooring, right? Like all of that obviously adds up. And if you're one in a time crunch where you don't want to do a new build, then that might be a better option for you. And even though they are doing, you know, the really cool rate situation, you're still going to get a better rate if you do the spec home. So that may work better for a lot of you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so this is going to be the spec home for $418,990. Cute exterior. This one is obviously available now. And to mention kind of what's in this area, there's literally nothing in this area or anywhere close as where you're talking right now, but that is what the CFD pays for. So right when you walk in, you can already kind of tell the difference. This is the same floor plan as the last model that we walked through. So slightly different baseboards, obviously different flooring as well. This is going to be a more affordable option for flooring. They did the 6-foot doors here versus our they're like 6 foot 8 inches or something along those lines. Not 8-foot doors, but you can get the concept. Here's our first bedroom. Again, very similar, just without furniture. Here's our first bathroom, different colored cabinets, same concept though. They did the cultured marble on top. They kept the faucets more of like the basic kind. You guys can obviously upgrade that if you want after. Here is the tub shower combo. Coming down a little bit further. Next bedroom, no fans are included. So that's something that you have to keep in mind as you buy any sort of new home. Fans are not included. Blinds, washer, dryer, fridge are also not necessarily included at this community right now. They are. There's that closet space. Here is the catch-all space, which is nice that they included that here. Looks really pretty. And then here's the laundry room. They also included the cabinets on both sides, which is really nice. And then they did the not cultured marble, they did actual quartz countertops here. So I like the way that looks. Here is that den space. And then kind of wrapping around the corner here, you have the kitchen set up. So again, not a gourmet kitchen, but still really pretty. This actually kind of reminds me a lot of my kitchen, the dark espresso cabinets. The model had like a nice, not a nice, but these are all nice. They're all nice houses, but they had a see-through clear into the pantry. Some people would hate that. Totally up to you guys. I probably wouldn't want that. And then they have the plugs up here, which is kind of cool. I like how it has more open space. I would probably take this little strip off eventually and go ahead and do a backsplash, which would be nice. Pre-wired for the pendant lights up here. They did extra recessed lighting, it looks like, in a couple different spots. This is where they had their dining space, the living room, and then here is the primary bedroom. Let's see what they did with the shower tub situation. Okay, so this is where they spent a lot of the money, I'm sure. These super showers are not cheap by any means, but they're such a pretty upgrade. I love it. And they kept it simple with the tiling. Here's your double sinks over here. Same layout for the closet space. Let's check out the backyard to see if the lots are comparable to the model. It looks pretty comparable, maybe slightly smaller. Let's see. This one, I don't remember if this had the door like this or if it was all the way to the left. Honestly, I like this better personally. I've had clients go both ways. Right now I have one that pulls from this side all the way over. It's hard when you're actually hanging the curtain rods. I digress, but both are really pretty. Here you walk out. Yeah, it's about the same, maybe slightly skinnier because it kind of tapers off here into the corner. But pretty similar. This is what all new home backyards are gonna look like 95% of the time. Occasionally you can get them to include a backyard package. Just depends on the builder if they're willing to do that. But pretty cool to see like the difference, right? So this one's at $418,990. You get the awesome interest rate with this. They design their spec homes different every single time. So this one, you know, has this set of flooring, but the next spec home, I think they had another one for $408. Could have completely different finishes on them. Basically, they have a designer that goes in and picks all of these out. There are some builders like Century Homes, for example, they have more of a package style. So they'll pick out a package for this home and there might be 5 other houses on that street that have the exact same color package. They do not do that at DRB. They'll have a different setup for pretty much every single spec home that they have. They might have their, you know, go-to picks because everybody loves, you know, the wood like tile or the certain color cabinets, things like that. But they're most likely going to be different. All right, guys, and that's it for today's video. If you liked it, pretty, please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out my channel and pushes this video to more people just like you thinking about making the move to the Phoenix, Arizona area. If you guys are interested and you're thinking about making the move in the next month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, don't care. I would love to connect with you guys and help you out. I do Zoom calls with all of my clients. I'll go ahead and put my QR code up and then also my number and email. You guys can feel free to reach out to me whenever. I would, again, love to help you guys out. Making the move to the Phoenix, Arizona area and actually just relocation in general can be quite difficult, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm here to help you guys through that process. If you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, which a lot of people are when they first meet with me, the Zoom call will literally ease so many things for you guys. It's about an hour call and really we're diving into so many different things. We're talking about the buying process. We're talking about buying and selling at the same time. We're talking about the actual moving over here, how it's gonna work, how's the job situation gonna work, all of that fun stuff. And we're also diving into neighborhoods. So you guys will definitely feel 1000% better once you're done with that call. But again, I digress. My number and email are popping up. Don't forget to subscribe and post videos every Monday at 5 p.m. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.